What is up, book babes? Welcome to a new video, new vibes on my YouTube channel. You're always welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Keionna, for those of you who don't know. And as always, please make sure you guys are signed into YouTube to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Click the notification bell to join the notification crew and sprinkle some love on that like button to better help this channel grow. I recently read 2 books and I just wanted to quickly share these books with you guys. These are 2 totally different books from 2 totally different genres, but the one thing that they have in common is the fact that they're both set in southern states. So I thought it'd be really cool to make a video about both of these books. This first book, we were supposed to read this book for my book club, Reading Out Loud book club. So this is going to be kind of like the discussion for this book. Are you guys ready for the review? The first book is Georgia Peaches and Other Forbidden Fruit by J. Robin Brown. I got this book as a recommendation from another booktuber years ago, and I really like the way that she described this book. This is actually the first female on female queer book that I've ever read. If you guys are interested in hearing my thoughts on this book, just as a disclaimer, this might be a spoilery type of review. If you guys have read the book, or if you don't mind the spoilers, then by all means please continue watching. This is a queer romance novel, and I was a little nervous when I first bought this book, but it is a very cute, very upbeat, cheeky. The main character, Joanna, is lesbian, but she has to be low-key about her sexuality until after she graduates from high school. The reason why our main character has to keep her sexuality a secret is because her dad remarried again and moved their family to the more conservative Rome, Georgia from Atlanta. He wants to make a good impression on his new wife's family, so Joanna has to keep her sexuality like on the DL. She developed this crush on this girl from her new school, but her crush is ready to be open about her sexuality long before Joanna is able to, given her circumstances, and so she has to choose between taking a shot at love or playing it safe until she graduates. One of the reasons why I find that this book is really cute is because the main character kind of gets a front row at watching her crush kind of like explore her own sexuality until she discovers that she's actually lesbian. Joanna is able to maintain her own elusiveness in the process to not be found out about her sexuality. This isn't really like a smutty book, but it's not that innocent either. There are definitely some encounters in this book. I haven't read many smutty or like books with like sexual content in them in a long time, like since I was a young girl, and I know that sounds crazy, but hear me out. I know I'm not the only one who's read one of those ghetto love stories from the hood. I know I'm not the only one, so don't judge me. And this is female on female, so it was really interesting. Another thing that I found really cute about this book is obviously the romance aspect. On the contrary, what I found is that I'm not really into queer romance books as much as I thought I was in the past. Books like these initially intrigued me, but I realized that I don't see myself in these characters as much as I would like to. I'm a lover. I'm all for love. It doesn't matter what race or what gender you are. If there's love, I feel it nevertheless. I just don't see myself in these characters, but that is okay. I'm still for all the representation and the full spectrum. I might give a book like this another chance in the future. I don't know, I might change my mind. So yeah. The second book that I'm excited to share with you guys is Where the Crawdads Sing by Delia Owens. I read this book in just about 2 days. This book was on my TBR pile, and the Netflix movie just released last month, and I literally just watched it as I was doing my makeup right before I filmed this video. I was recommended this book a long time ago, and it's also a Reese's book club pick. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on this book, you know what to do. What I found about this book is that it is a very elemental book, and that is one of the first things that I discovered. I love how the author illustrates the setting. She really paints the setting with her words, and I think it's absolutely beautiful. I love the southern air or atmosphere that it brings, and the accents are pretty cool too. And then there's like this chilling murder mystery that's lingering, or that kind of just clings to the atmosphere. I also found that this is a historical fiction novel that shows our main character's upbringing from a childhood until she's an adult, through flashbacks dating back to like the 1950s up until the 1960s. And in the 1960s there is like, that's where like the scene of like the murder and the investigation take place. The main character's name is Kaya, and her mother basically leaves her and her family at a really young age. Her dad is abusive, and then all of her other siblings kind of just trickle out of the household, and they branch out and move out, and they leave little Kaya alone with her dad. It was just her and her dad for a little while until her dad decided to just not return home one day, and then little Kaya had to learn how to survive on her own. That's the main thing that I felt for this character throughout the entire story, is the fact that her family abandoned her and she was just left all alone, and it really just made me want to just hold her hand throughout the entire story. Needless to say, this book definitely brought tears to my eyes. This little girl who is trying to make it in the marsh, and she basically just raises herself. Like you guys already know, this is a very southern, very country read. It is set in North Carolina, and this is definitely one of the most unique books in my reading palette. I did watch somebody else's review on this book, and they stated that they're also from North Carolina, and they felt like this book was a little inauthentic, and I kind of got that vibe as well with the whole atmospheric fluff and everything, but I did still find this book very entertaining. I do remember there being some sort of controversy around this author, and people were trying to cancel the author and the book, but you know what, I'm really tired of making reading about the author, and I really want to make it more about figuring out if I actually enjoy the book or if I don't. I actually really like this book. I felt like I could see myself in the main character, Kaya. She was a really innocent girl, and she was often picked on, but you know what? After watching the movie, I realized the reason why Kaya was picked on so much was because she was pretty. Okay, so she had a rough childhood and her family wasn't wealthy. People picked on her because she had a really hard time learning how to read, but you know what? I realized why people were so mad at her. She was really pretty. As she develops into her adolescence and matures into her character, she meets this guy. It becomes this slow burn romance. It becomes more about the romance than it does the mystery. The longest chapters are of her and her boyfriend, and then like the shortest chapters are like of the actual mystery. I feel like the pacing of this book was really slow, and it was really drawn out. Like the ending was just, it just felt really flat for me. I really understood the main character and how all she really wanted was love and to feel a sense of community and connection with the people and the land that she grew up on. The story really feels like it's just one big wish fulfillment for the author maybe, or I don't know, even for some of the readers. After reading this book, the movie makes so much more sense, and I'm really happy that I read this book first before watching the entire movie, and I feel like it really made it more special for me. All in all, this is a story about love, family, survival, art, and beauty, and I recommend that you read it if you haven't read this book already. It really makes me want to read more southern books or mystery books in general. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my reviews on these two southern books. If you guys watch this video to the very end, make sure you guys leave me a white heart emoji in the comment section down below to let me know that you guys are here, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Until next time, bye.